What's poppin'? So, today I kind of want to talk about sustainability versus being extreme or maybe even being obsessed. I don't know. Kind of the same thing, right? But, there's been a little bit of a culture shift. When I was a kid, when I was an athlete, like saying you were obsessed, saying you were extreme, it was cool, bro. We were like, yo, I'm 100% into this. I'm a track star. I go out there in the morning. I go out there at nighttime. This is all I think about. This is what I do. And that was fine. That showed like a level of dedication. But no one really talked about, does that work? Everyone thought it worked. So there was no discussion about it, right? And, that's just what it was. Everything. Whenever someone told you, like, if you want to be good at this, you need to be obsessed about it. It needs to be all you think about. It needs to be this, that, and the other. I don't feel that way anymore. I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to talk about sustainability. I'm big on sustainability. But I think sustainability is a lot more general than people give it credit for. So I'll talk about how I use that in different parts of my life. Like with fitness, language learning, whatever. I would say... Let's start with sustainability. Let's start with why sustainability is important, right? If I know that I can continue doing something forever, then I'm guaranteed to make progress. I'm guaranteed to get where I want to go eventually. How long it's going to take, I don't know. But I'm guaranteed to get there eventually, right? And so there's levels to sustainability, right? When we talk about language learning or fitness, actually I'll merge them all together. When I say I'm going to do something the rest of my life, or when I say I'm going to do it for a long period of time, people think sustainability means, oh, you can do 30 minutes per day on language learning or 1 hour per day for working out. Not necessarily. Like, there's days where I watch 5 podcasts in Spanish, and there's days where I only watch 1. There's days where I work out super hard, and there's days where I'm like, I'm just not feeling it, bro. Do my thing and go home. So I have like minimums. My sustainability is getting there. My sustainability is doing something. And if it's a bad day, I know I'm gonna have a good day somewhere else. But it's not, I need to exactly do this every single day. I just have structure. I'm just like, this is something that's necessary. I'm not gonna tell y'all exactly what I do because I don't want y'all judging me. But I think most of y'all know I work out every single day. Like literally every single day of my life. I can't think of a day since I was like 3 years old that I didn't work out. That's normal for me. And like I said, that might be yoga, Pilates, it might be weightlifting, it could be a lot of different stuff. But I always work out. With the exception of being like deathly sick. I'm not like, I don't have like some kind of disorder where I'm like, I don't care how bad I feel, I need to get up. But I'm just saying, if I'm healthy and I'm not going to like make my health worse, I will work out. So that is my idea of sustainability. And like I said, I think for most people, that's the way to go. But I want to talk about being extreme, being obsessed, and if it's ever acceptable or when it's acceptable. I would say if something that you're doing, how do I word this? Let me use it in terms of a weightlifting competition. I got a weightlifting competition coming up in 2 weeks. This isn't real, by the way. And it's like, if I work for 6 hours a day, I'll have better results in 2 weeks. And this is like the end all be all. Well, then it's like, bro, like sustainability doesn't matter here. We're trying to get somewhere. Or you have a trip coming up. Like you're going, I don't know, you're going to Mexico. And you're like, I need to know how to converse in Spanish. Like, yeah, I'm going to tell you, like, put in as much time as you need to get there. Now, if we're talking about, like, a journey to fluency, then sustainability, again, is more important because it's a long-term thing. Like, you will be learning for the rest of your life. You will always be able to learn a new word, a new concept, whatever. But if you have a trip coming up and studying 8 hours a day until the trip, like, you get what you put in, I'm going to say, yeah, do your thing. And try to get as much done as you can so that you can have a better time or whatever. So I think extremism has its place. Whoa, that sounds like I'm like advocating for terrorism or something. I better use obsession. Yeah, I think obsession has its place, um, but like it just not very many places. So when we're talking about like fitness and nutrition, it doesn't have very many places that are healthy, anyways. One book I like to have people read is called "Why Diets Make Us Fat." It's a really good book, and it just talks about how the body works, how your brain works, how if we're in the wild a long time ago, losing weight is never a good thing, right? So your brain is like automatically doing stuff when you lose weight. It's like, this is wrong. I need to do something to make this better. When you eventually break your diet and you gain weight, you are going to be heavier than you were when you started the diet. That is why you see people yo-yo all the time. If you know someone that's lost a lot of weight, see if they've kept it off. See if they had a period where they went back up in weight. Because what most people do is not sustainable. Like, it's just not. And so that defended weight, you start off at being 150 pounds. You're like, oh, I'm fat. You drop down to 130, but what you're doing isn't sustainable. Eventually you come back up, but this time you're 155. You do it again, but this time you're 160. And this is a pattern your whole life. And you just keep gaining weight over time, right? And people just think that's a normal way to live somehow. They're like, no. I do know how to diet. I know how to be healthy. I just broke it for a little bit. I gained all the weight back, but I'm going to lose it this time and I'm going to maintain it. And then they do the exact same thing all the way until they die. So let's talk about what is sustainable. I like to reverse engineer everything. I like to look at the end and think, how do I get there? What is realistic, right? So let's use me personally. I think I weigh like 220 right now or something. I don't know, but roughly 220. I have to think about what's realistic. I have to think about what can I do the rest of my life realistically, not just like, there's a lot of things I could do the rest of my life, but am I going to do it? That's what realism is. That's what is realistic. Are you going to do it? Not can you do it. I can eat 1,400 calories the rest of my life. I'm not going to do that. I know I'm not going to do that. So what I think about is, what is a normal life look like for me? What is something that I can do? Well, I could not eat certain things. I could not drink 2 cans of wine every night. Sure, it's not hard either. Like, take these 2 cans of wine out of here, and that's gonna cut out 750 calories. So that's what my realistic would be. I'll say, what's that number after I take out the 2 bags of Doritos that I eat every single day for no reason? It's not that I like crave Doritos. It's just that like they're there and I get them. So that's the kind of stuff that I would cut out. If you really like something and you're going to be thinking about it the rest of your life, then cutting it out is not realistic to me. Like, you're going to go back to it and you're going to ruin everything that you're doing. So again, let me like reel it in a little bit here. I'm trying to think of the dumb thing that people say to me all the time. So people tell me they're going to like go hard and get to where they want to be, and then they can pull back because they'll just have to maintain it. And what I always do is I'm like, hey, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean you'll just have to maintain it? Like, they're like, well, I won't have to go so hard because I'll already be there. And it's like, bro, if you put in this much work and your energy level is here and your food is here, like, yeah, this gap is what made you lose your weight, made you lose your fat, whatever. And you're like, I won't have to do this anymore. And you'll do this. And you'll put it right back where it was. Bro, you're just going to slowly go back to where you were, bro. Like, no, that's not how it works, bro. So, like I said, we can reverse engineer it a little bit. What I like to do is add some activity in. I like to say, hey, what could you see yourself doing activity-wise for the rest of your life? Could you go on a 30-minute walk every day, 3 times a week? 2 times a week? Could you start playing basketball? Could you start playing tennis? Can you pick a hobby up that's realistic to keep going for the rest of your life? Because usually the things that people do with their food is not realistic. Unless you're learning a new way to eat, that might be sustainable. But if you're just like, I'm going to take out this Snickers bar that I absolutely love, my favorite thing to eat in the world, I'm never going to eat it again. You're lying, bro. You're going to eat it again. I'm getting sidetracked. The conclusion here is that most of the time, being extreme will not work out for you in anything, bro. And you can comment and tell me how being extreme works for you. I'd love to hear it, actually. If you tell me that it works, I might make another video and I might say, hey, user 267 said he's super extreme and he became a senator and he changed 5,000 people's lives. I might make another video and say I was wrong. But for the most part, being extreme is not going to work out for you because you can't stay extreme. That's why it's extreme, bro. Like, it's extreme because it's way over here. It's not something that you can continue to do the rest of your life. If you could, you wouldn't call it extreme, right? So do something that you can keep doing. That might not feel good today, tomorrow, or next week. You feel like you're not doing much. But, you know, every single day you're adding into something. I don't have like a good analogy. It's kind of late at night, so forgive me. But some kind of pot, you're putting something in the pot. You're putting rocks in the pot, bro. And that pot eventually is going to be overflowing with rocks. What can you do with a pot of rocks? Don't ask me. But the point is, you're going to have a lot of rocks in that pot. A lot of rocks. But anyways, you get the point, right? The point is, do something sustainable. And I'd like to hear your thoughts, seriously. Tell me how sustainability has worked for you. Maybe you don't think sustainability works. I don't know how you could think that, but sure. Tell me why it doesn't work. Like I said, you could tell me why extremism doesn't work or how it has worked for you. I'd really like to hear that one. That's the one I want to hear the most. Anyways, this video is getting long and I'm rambling, so just wanted to share some thoughts with y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching me. I'm going to keep trying to make videos whenever I can. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.